should now be placed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead locker.
호호호. 야.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, really?
Just ask him, like, be like, hey, give me some good recommendations or whatnot. He's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're 18 gram dose. We do a 100 gram blue
I mean, like,
in salt.
everyone knows.
So,
You got my friend.
thank you so much.
So, I'm not sure. Right?
Yeah.
The coast.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
They just change up their like. They just do funny, spirally things.
Yeah.